Breaking. You will not believe what just went down inside one of the most insane courtrooms in hip-hop history. Imagine this: cameras flashing, social media exploding, and the world collectively holding its breath, because the son of a legendary rap icon just dropped a bomb bigger than any album release. Yes, you heard that right. King Harris, son of none other than T.I., stood up in front of a courtroom full of journalists, fans, and law enforcement, and in a voice trembling with rage and sorrow, pointed directly at his father and said words that will haunt hip-hop forever. But wait, it gets juicier. This isn't some tabloid rumor or shady internet gossip. This is leaked, recorded, undeniable proof that the man millions idolized may have been living a double life filled with corruption, drugs, and shady deals. What exactly did King Harris reveal? And why is the world now questioning everything they thought they knew about T.I.? Buckle up, because today we're diving deep into the scandal that's shaking the music industry, tearing families apart, and sending shockwaves across every social media platform imaginable. Are you ready to see the truth? Or at least the version that will make your jaw drop? So let's dive straight into the scandal that nobody saw coming but everyone is now talking about. T.I., the Grammy-winning, chart-topping hip-hop mogul, suddenly isn't just a rapper anymore. He's the center of what could be the biggest celebrity betrayal in history. And at the heart of it all is his own son, King Harris, the very person the world thought was shielded from his father's dangerous double life. But what exactly did King Harris uncover? And what led him to pull back the curtain on a man millions worshipped? Sources close to the family, who asked to remain anonymous because they still want to be alive, reveal a series of events that paint a picture far darker than any album T.I. ever dropped. It all allegedly started with whispers in the streets. Rumors about hidden stashes, suspicious meetings, and lavish purchases that didn't match the reported income. But then King Harris allegedly found something no one was supposed to see: a collection of tapes, audios, and handwritten notes that documented not only his father's lavish lifestyle, but a world of corruption, manipulation, and secrecy that spanned decades. And when we say lavish lifestyle, we're not talking about a couple of fancy cars and a few designer suits. We're talking penthouses in multiple cities, private jets that never touched the books, exotic vacations paid for by mysterious investments, and accounts so complex that even top-tier accountants would sweat just trying to follow the money. The same T.I. who rapped about loyalty and grind was allegedly funneling cash to unknown figures, keeping a trail of transactions hidden from the IRS, the government, and apparently his own family. But the tapes are where it gets really insane. Imagine hearing the calm, confident voice of a man who the world thought was an icon, admitting to dealings so shady it would make even seasoned mobsters blush. Drugs, weapons, hush money, bribery, and secret meetings with people who could ruin a career or worse if they felt disrespected. King Harris, according to insider reports, didn't just stumble upon one or two recordings. He allegedly uncovered dozens of audios spanning years documenting transactions, threats, and covert instructions on how to keep the empire untouchable. And here's the kicker: some of these tapes reportedly included conversations with high-level figures in politics, law enforcement, and rival music executives. It wasn't just a personal scandal, it was systemic. This wasn't simply about a father hiding skeletons. This was about a network of influence, power, and corruption, all orchestrated behind the polished smile of a hip-hop superstar. Social media reactions exploded before King Harris even made a public statement. Fans were in disbelief. One viral post supposedly read that T.I. always said King of the South, but now it looks like he's the king of shady deals too. Memes circulated with T.I. photoshopped behind stacks of money, briefcases labeled bribes, and private jets with question marks. Online communities began dissecting every lyric, every public appearance, trying to find clues that might have predicted this scandal. And journalists scrambled to get a piece of the story. One anonymous reporter reportedly said they had covered celebrities for decades, but had never seen a father-son betrayal explode this violently in real time. The narrative was so unprecedented that even seasoned legal analysts admitted they had never seen a case where personal betrayal, criminal exposure, and public spectacle collided so perfectly. King Harris, sources claim, struggled for months with the decision to come forward. He was allegedly warned repeatedly by family friends to stay silent, that exposing T.I. could ruin both of their lives. But he reportedly felt trapped by conscience, burdened by the knowledge that the world needed to know the truth. When he finally stepped into the courtroom, the energy was electric. Journalists whispered, camera flashes erupted, and the air was thick with tension. The son who once looked up to a father now stood ready to dismantle him piece by piece, exposing the darkest corners of an empire built on music, fame, and allegedly crime. The courtroom reportedly became a powder keg. Every eye was on King Harris as he began detailing the evidence. The tapes allegedly included detailed accounts of cash being moved in duffel bags, accounts set up under fake names, and instructions for associates to manipulate public perception. He reportedly described instances where his father allegedly staged charity events or album launches as fronts to launder money, all while maintaining an image of a loving father and rap mogul. And as if that wasn't enough, witnesses who previously remained silent for fear of retaliation reportedly began stepping forward. Former bodyguards, managers, and even backup dancers allegedly confirmed parts of the story, describing lavish parties, threats disguised as motivational talks, and transactions that would make Wall Street accountants blush. The public reaction was instantaneous and chaotic. Fans were split. Some accused King Harris of being a traitor, screaming that no son should ever turn against his father, while others hailed him as a hero for exposing the truth. News outlets across the world reportedly replayed the leaked tapes, dissecting every pause, every word, and every nuance. The courtroom, we are told, was packed with tension. Attorneys whispered furiously. Law enforcement leaned forward with pens poised, taking notes as if the very future of the music industry hung in the balance. Security reportedly had to call in extra personnel because emotions were so high, and the cameras continued rolling, capturing every trembling hand and stifled gasp. King Harris allegedly had to pause several times, overwhelmed by the weight of what he was revealing, but he reportedly pushed forward because he knew there was no turning back. He reportedly detailed how payments were moved offshore, how contracts were manipulated to hide ownership of multiple properties, and even how certain artists were allegedly coerced into silence. Every revelation reportedly made the room colder, the tension thicker. Lawyers reportedly whispered among themselves, jurors reportedly stared in disbelief, and reporters scribbled as fast as their hands could move, knowing that what they were witnessing would dominate headlines for weeks, if not months. Even outside the courtroom, chaos reportedly erupted. Fans gathered on street corners, some chanting support for King Harris, others defending T.I., shouting about loyalty, fame, and betrayal in the same breath. Social media reportedly blew up in real time, with videos of the courtroom trending within minutes and reactions flooding in from celebrities, influencers, and ordinary people who couldn't believe what they were seeing. According to sources, even friends and distant relatives of the family were caught in the frenzy, forced to pick sides or remain silent as the scandal unfolded in front of the entire world. The scandal only deepened as the days went on, and more alleged evidence surfaced, with sources claiming that the tapes King Harris revealed were just the tip of the iceberg, exposing layers of deceit, manipulation, and power plays that no one could have anticipated. According to insiders, some of the recordings detailed secret meetings where T.I. allegedly negotiated deals with figures so notorious that even seasoned industry veterans reportedly shivered at the thought. And it was said that these meetings involved exchanges of cash, promises of protection, and instructions on how to maintain influence over not just the music world, but political circles as well. King Harris allegedly described in painstaking detail how his father allegedly orchestrated the appearance of a perfect life, using his music empire as a cover for allegedly laundering money and intimidating anyone who threatened to expose him. Former associates reportedly came forward with claims of private jets filled with unaccounted cash, luxury cars purchased under shell companies, and properties bought in the names of friends and family members to avoid detection. One anonymous insider supposedly said that the level of secrecy and precision in T.I.'s operations was something straight out of a Hollywood thriller, a network of loyalty and fear that even the most hardened industry veterans found hard to believe. Meanwhile, King Harris reportedly faced an emotional toll unlike anything the public could imagine. Balancing the heartbreak of exposing a parent with the sense of responsibility to reveal the truth to the world, and several sources close to him claimed that he spent sleepless nights, replaying the tapes, analyzing every word, and preparing himself for the moment he would stand in court and speak to the jury. The courtroom, insiders said, became a pressure cooker of emotion and tension, with every revelation seemingly igniting a new wave of shock among the public, journalists, and legal professionals alike. Fans reportedly split into factions, with heated debates online ranging from accusations of betrayal to praises of courage. And the conversation spread beyond the music industry, reaching mainstream media, political commentators, and social media influencers, all dissecting every alleged detail from the tapes and questioning how long this double life had been going on without detection. According to sources, King Harris allegedly revealed instances where T.I. had allegedly manipulated contracts to ensure loyalty from artists and producers, allegedly bribed officials to avoid scrutiny, and allegedly threatened anyone who attempted to leak information, all while maintaining his public persona as a loving father and musical icon. Former employees, reportedly speaking off the record, allegedly described a culture of fear and silence, where anyone who questioned T.I.'s decisions risked being blacklisted or worse. And this, combined with the alleged tapes, painted a picture of a man whose influence stretched far beyond the stage and into the hidden corridors of power and corruption. Observers claimed that the fallout extended to financial networks as well, with reports of sudden freezes on accounts, investigations into shell companies, and speculations that insurers and investors were now reconsidering their involvement in ventures tied to T.I. And these claims, though unverified, contributed to the sense of a completely imploding empire. Meanwhile, public reactions continued to spiral, with protests outside concert venues, fans confronting media crews, and heated online discussions about loyalty, morality, and the consequences of truth, all suggesting that the scandal was more than just a celebrity controversy, but a cultural moment reflecting broader issues of power, secrecy, and accountability. Some insiders even allegedly claimed that rival artists and industry competitors were quietly capitalizing on the chaos, attempting to negotiate deals or reposition themselves while the alleged revelations were still fresh, further complicating the narrative and making it impossible for anyone to ignore the gravity of the situation. As King Harris continued to testify and provide alleged documentation of accounts, recordings, and private communications, the pressure on T.I. reportedly intensified, with several sources claiming that his legal team scrambled to contain the damage, allegedly attempting to suppress tapes, discredit witnesses, and negotiate behind closed doors. All while the public, fueled by leaks and speculation, demanded answers and accountability. The combination of emotional turmoil, alleged criminal exposure, and public spectacle created a scenario that insiders described as unprecedented, a perfect storm where family betrayal, celebrity influence, and alleged criminal activity collided, leaving everyone involved under immense scrutiny and forcing the world to confront a version of events that was far darker than any tabloid story or social media rumor. The tension reportedly was palpable even outside the courtroom, with security personnel allegedly on high alert, streets crowded with demonstrators, and journalists documenting every alleged twist, creating a real-time narrative that blended entertainment, tragedy, and scandal in ways that few could have anticipated. King Harris, sources said, continued to navigate this maelstrom, allegedly balancing grief, fear, and determination, knowing that each revelation brought both relief and heartbreak, and that the consequences of exposing the alleged truth could extend far beyond the courtroom, affecting careers, reputations, and relationships for years to come. While the world watched in awe, horror, and fascination at the unraveling of an empire once thought untouchable. As the scandal reached its peak, the intensity only grew, with each new revelation sending shockwaves through the music industry and beyond. And insiders claimed that T.I.'s once untouchable image was now unraveling in real time, leaving his fans, colleagues, and even family members grappling with disbelief and anger. According to sources close to the family, King Harris continued to provide detailed accounts and alleged evidence that further implicated his father, revealing not only financial irregularities and secret accounts, but also alleged schemes to manipulate public perception, control artists, and influence media narratives, all while maintaining the facade of a devoted father and respected hip-hop icon. Observers reportedly noted that every court session seemed to raise the stakes, with whispers of legal consequences, potential indictments, and government scrutiny becoming impossible to ignore. And speculation spread like wildfire that major investigations could now extend into political and corporate networks linked to T.I.'s alleged activities. Sources claimed that former associates and employees who had remained silent for years were now willing to speak out, some providing sworn statements, others giving interviews under anonymity, each account painting a picture of a man whose ambition and desire for control allegedly eclipsed his loyalty to family, and in some cases, basic morality. Reports suggested that lavish spending continued to be a central theme, with properties in multiple states, private jets, high-end vehicles, and expensive lifestyles allegedly funded through opaque transactions, raising questions about the true source of funds and the legality of such arrangements. As news outlets dissected the ongoing proceedings, analysts reportedly pointed out that the scandal was unprecedented, combining elements of family drama, celebrity downfall, and alleged criminal exposure, and the public response reflected this, with heated debates about betrayal, accountability, and the cost of fame dominating conversations across media platforms. In addition, sources alleged that some of T.I.'s closest collaborators were quietly attempting to distance themselves from the fallout, renegotiating contracts and making contingency plans in case of convictions or financial collapse. While other insiders reportedly suggested that rival artists were positioning themselves to capitalize on the chaos, turning a personal family tragedy into a high-stakes game of industry strategy. Allegedly, King Harris faced immense personal and emotional pressure during this time, navigating grief, anger, and moral responsibility while simultaneously dealing with threats, backlash, and public scrutiny, and sources claimed that he repeatedly emphasized that revealing the alleged truth was not about fame or revenge, but about exposing actions that had consequences far beyond his own family. Meanwhile, the courtroom remained a center of tension and drama, with testimonies, evidence, and alleged recordings presented to jurors and legal officials, each disclosure intensifying the sense of imminent upheaval and forcing everyone involved to confront the possible ramifications for years to come. Observers reportedly claimed that T.I.'s legal team scrambled to contain the damage, filing motions to suppress evidence, discredit witnesses, and negotiate settlements. Yet the momentum of the revelations allegedly made it increasingly difficult to control the narrative, and each attempt to intervene was met with skepticism and renewed scrutiny from both the media and the public. Alleged financial experts consulted by insiders suggested that the potential fallout could include frozen assets, investigations into shell companies, audits of personal and business accounts, and long-term reputational damage, creating a scenario where even a partial confirmation of the allegations might have catastrophic consequences. At the same time, social dynamics around the scandal reportedly grew more complex, with fans, critics, and commentators debating not only the veracity of the claims, but the moral implications of King Harris's decision to expose his father, with some framing it as courageous and others condemning it as betrayal, highlighting the tension between personal ethics, loyalty, and accountability. Sources also indicated that the story had reached global attention, with media coverage extending to international outlets, further amplifying the pressure on everyone involved and ensuring that no aspect of the alleged scandal could remain private. In this atmosphere, every detail, from personal conversations to business transactions, was scrutinized, and even trivial actions were interpreted as evidence of character, intent, or guilt, creating a relentless environment where T.I.'s legacy, influence, and empire were continuously questioned. Despite the chaos, King Harris reportedly remained resolute, determined to reveal what he believed was the truth. While navigating the emotional fallout of confronting his father and witnessing the collapse of a public image that had once seemed untouchable, sources suggested that this combination of personal courage, public spectacle, and alleged criminal exposure made the unfolding events unlike any other celebrity scandal in history, blending elements of morality play, courtroom drama, and social media frenzy into a story that would dominate conversations for months, if not years, to come. The tension allegedly was palpable everywhere, from courtroom halls to social media threads, as each new piece of information fueled speculation, outrage, and fascination, leaving the world watching as a family, an empire, and a cultural icon were seemingly dismantled in real time. Forcing society to question the boundaries between fame, power, loyalty, and truth. And now, as we sit back and watch the chaos unfold, we have to ask ourselves, what does this mean for the world we thought we knew? Is it possible to separate the art from the artist when the artist himself is accused of building a web of deception, manipulation, and alleged crime? King Harris has shaken the foundations of an empire, exposed the dark side of fame, and forced millions to question loyalty, family, and morality all at once. So where do we go from here? Will justice finally catch up, or will power, influence, and money allow the empire to survive in some shadowy form? And more importantly, what does this say about the people we idolize, the icons we put on pedestals, and the truth that might be hiding behind every public smile? We want to hear your take, your theories, your reactions to the scandal that has rocked not just hip-hop, but the very notion of trust and legacy. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Hit that like button if this story blew your mind, and make sure you subscribe to stay on top of every shocking revelation as it comes. The truth is out there, and only those who stay vigilant will see how deep the rabbit hole really goes.